Episode 4 of Domino Masters is out, and that's a wrap on the first round of the bracket. Domino Masters is a show that airs every Wednesday at 9/8 Central on Fox, but all the episodes so far can be streamed right now on Fox Now and Hulu. With 16 teams going head-to-head to make the most creative builds, I'm very excited to see all the techniques and ideas that will make the big screen. And I was a producer and consultant for this show. So many times this episode, I was reminded of what fun it was to watch this group of builders. For the last time this qualifying round, we see a set of 4 teams really put their hearts into what they're building. And the theme of movies was a good opportunity to capitalize on storytelling and atmosphere. From a builder's perspective though, there are other cool things to talk about. Okay, let's get into this week's Domino Masters analysis video. So here's something really cool that comes from the Teen Topplers. This isn't a specific technique, but their entire project is planned so that no two projects are falling at the same time. Good project timing is a good habit that most builders try to maintain, but the Teen Topplers did it exceptionally well. Though the final edit can't always show this, as Nathan mentioned, the secret is in the backup lines. And there are certain metrics that you can use to time your projects, like that a domino line falls at 61 dominoes per second, which is useful to know in cases like this, so the domino line doesn't topple another project before these walls are done falling. But something else that really helps with timing is just being able to visualize how fast things are falling, which really just comes with practice. And the more you build, the more you learn to visualize, so good timing is a sign of a good team. Next, I think it's time to talk about the zipline technique, which is used by Wonder Women. It's mainly used to go from higher to lower elevation, as the thing that slides down the zipline keeps the movement going. This is how I've started building mine recently, and no matter how you build yours, just make sure the string is secured to the base, and that the string is also sloped pretty heavily so it doesn't sag and catch the object sliding down. The Wonder Women don't need to worry about this, as they actually use a more rigid zipline, which is pretty rare, but that allowed them to put a corkscrew in it. Oh, but it's also a good idea to make a big target at the bottom of the zipline, so the object that's sliding down doesn't miss. The Backbreakers are such a solid team, and I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to talk about slow stones, one of the most classic domino tricks in the past couple decades. The name slow stones comes from the fact that this trick topples slower than a regular line, and because an alternate name for dominoes is actually stones. And while these dominoes are horizontal, the trick also has a well-known vertical alternative. There are lots of different classic domino tricks with dominoes falling in different ways, but not a lot of them are reliable enough to go in a large-scale setup, unlike the slow stones. So a field of slow stones is actually a really cool application. And with the Mechanical Mavericks, let's talk about the technique they use to get from one elevation to another. Unlike a zipline, which is for high to low height changes, this technique is typically for low to high. This is the technique that they like to use, but there's a different technique that I like to use because at the end of the day, there's more than one way to do it. The Mavericks technique is also called the tape trick, and to build it, you tape here, tape the string here, place it down, and tape the string here. It works pretty well. For my technique, you tape here, put the domino here, domino here, tape here, place it down, and tape the string here and here. Both techniques have their own unique applications for accomplishing the same thing. My technique is much more forgiving if the string has too much slack, but you also have to make sure there's nothing on the ground for the falling domino to hit. Either technique is cool, but I think smart builders will be able to know the best situation to use either of these techniques. Shout out to all the episode 4 teams, whether you advanced or not. I loved your builds. They were amazing. This is my last shout out, know that all teams have made their debut, but rest assured, there's still some amazing stuff to come. That's all I have to say about episode 4. And now that we've seen all the teams, I'll say one last time that I really appreciated the whole cast this season. Because building isn't confined to one particular style or one particular set of techniques, and I think they really showed how much of a community there is behind this art. The first round isn't the whole series, but I'm hoping at least a few people have gotten inspired to build at this point. But yeah, there are still 6 more episodes on the way. So the next time we see you, it'll be with more Domino Masters analysis next week.